Hi. All we're trying to do today is we're just giving an interview to the Chief Constable, Andy Cooke, and all we're doing is like I've just said, just an interview on the Chief Andy Cooke. I can't make it any simpler. You can't make it any simpler, can you?
No. All right, this is the Christmas vlog. Thought it'd be a nice idea to get the mini police in to ask me some questions, which I've no idea what those questions are going to be. And having met Erin and particularly Lewis for a few minutes before, I'm a bit worried now. So, Lewis, do you want to start with the first question?
Okay. You know, with the first mini police group, you've basically just been trying to wipe the streets with scramblers, aren't you? You're just trying to get them off the streets. With the next group, what's your next main goal for the next group as well?
Well, I think we started with the scrambler bikes and the mini police at first because it's such a big problem at the moment, and yourself and your colleagues in the mini police can make a real difference about educating other kids not to do it and to understand the dangers of it. But it's a problem right across Merseyside. So what we'll do with the future mini police that we have right round the force is that whatever are the big issues of the day, we will teach them and work with them to try and stop them. So you've been doing speeding guns and you've been doing lots of community work and Liverpool one and preventing crime work, which has been fantastic. Because everyone across the country is looking at you to see what you're doing, because everyone else around the country thinks it's fantastic as well, right across Twitter and Facebook and you name it. And the mini police were on television last Sunday as well. All brilliant work. So it depends what the important issues are. They're the ones that we will deal with the mini police. Okay?
Okay. Were you a cadet when you were younger?
I wasn't a cadet. I wanted to be a cadet, but when I was 16, the police careers man said, go and do your A-levels. So I went to do my A-levels, and then I wanted to join the police when I was 18, and the police careers man said, go to university. So I went to university, and then I joined the police when I was 21. And I'm glad I did it that way, because while I was at university, you learn an awful lot of things about different parts of life and different people and people from different social backgrounds. And it makes a big difference, because I think I was more ready to join the police when I was 21. I was probably a bit too young at 18, although we take policemen and policewomen at 18 as well.
I know you only pick high on dice because you get five years guarantee. So I'm thinking, if you got that on a Ford, would you take a Ford as well?
Because money's so tight in policing, we've got to go where the best deal is. Yeah, we need good, decent equipment and decent cars for the policemen and women, but you've got to go where the best deal is. And Hyundai at the moment give us the best deal for the amount of value we get from the vehicles, and they do give us 5 years free warranty with it. And I'm amazed that you know that. Where'd you get that from? How do you know
My granddad.
Your granddad's obviously well clued up on this.
Yeah.
Because we need to make sure every penny counts, because we haven't got that much money, and unfortunately there's never enough money for all the police that you need.
Have you had to travel abroad for your job, like anything you've done?
I've travelled abroad a few times. I've been to Canada, I've been to Italy, I've been to Jersey and Holland and various other places, because I was a detective for many years, so I know there are inquiries. And the Canadian one was to speak to the Canadian police about how to tackle gangs, because they wanted our advice on how to tackle people who are in gangs with guns. So yeah, I've done quite a bit of travelling with the police, which is nice, but it's always for a reason. It's never just for the holiday, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I've been watching police programmes on TV, and I've been realising that the main target for the ocean that they've been using is yachts, which they're hiding stuff on. Because I watched a programme where there's actually a hidden moon full of guns loaded with weaponry. So what do you intend to do? Are you going to start getting some police yachts?
We have a police launch. We have a police boat that we use along the Mersey when we need to use it. And we also have good relations with the Royal Navy.
Well, that stuff we're using it for the right use, isn't it?
Absolutely. And the Royal Navy help us when we need to stop ships. The Coast Guard help us on occasion. And we work very closely with like the National Crime Agency, just so we're all looking at the right things and the right people, because you do get drugs brought in through ships quite a bit. So we have to be very careful. We always search the ships that come in. We have police officers who are stationed at the ports to make sure that the ships get searched. But no, it's a good point.
Do you have a lot of staff, or is there only like a couple in here, or is there a lot?
In Merseyside Police,
Yeah.
there's about over 6,000 people in Merseyside Police, so there's a lot. And they do a fantastic job every day. Yeah. Some of the arrests they make, some of the way they care for people when they need it, some of the ways they protect people is absolutely fantastic, and I'm really proud of them.
Right, you know that you've made a mini police group. Why don't you make another group? So, which the main goal for that group every year is to help the homeless on every street. Because, I mean, when I went on Saturday, there was quite a lot of people I saw on the street. So, all I was doing was giving them a bit of Christmas cheer by saying hi, and then I just said Merry Christmas and good luck to you the rest of your life.
Well, that's a lovely thing to do, because quite a lot of the time people ignore the homeless people on the streets, don't they?
Yeah.
So it's always nice to say hello. It's a difficult issue, homelessness, because there's quite a lot of beds available for the homeless people. Some homeless people don't want to have a bed for the night, they'd rather sleep out. So what we do, we try and work with them to make sure that they're looked after, because they're quite often vulnerable people as well. So we try and make sure that they're looked after, and it's only as a last resort that we move them on.
Did you have to train like really hard for this job?
For this, as the Chief
Yeah.
Constable, I'd say yes, others might say no. I think I've been training for 31 years when I first joined the police, because I joined the police in 1985, which is a long time ago now, many, many years before you were born.
So have you had any other jobs other than this one?
Yeah, well, I was a police constable when I started, and then a sergeant, then an inspector, then a chief inspector, a superintendent, then a chief superintendent, assistant chief constable, deputy chief constable.
So you've been a police officer for 31 years?
31 years, yeah. So, yeah, I've had all those jobs. I'm both in this force, and I worked for a small amount of time in Lancashire as well, which is just a bit further north. Erin?
If you're the Chief Constable, is your wife called Mrs. Chief Constable?
Is she called Mrs. Chief Constable? No, I just make do with calling her boss, and she's happy with that. Nothing so formal as Mrs. Chief Constable. As long as she knows she's the boss, she's happy.
You know the mascot at the moment, Bobby?
Yep.
I think the next mascot, I think a good idea will be the actual Merseyside badge with eyes, arms and legs, maybe some of the gear as well, to make you feel a bit safer.
So it's a big badge?
Because it's like the big badge, with the big badge, legs, arms and some eyes as well.
Well, I'll speak to Keith about that.
Because I mean, that could be the new mascot, couldn't it?
It could be.
Because I mean, there's some people I know when they've seen Bobby and they're like, why is his eye so big? They're scared of him. His eyes are big. That's why so people are scared of him. So I think you need to remodel a bit on Bobby.
Right, well, we will look at Bobby and make sure that he's not too scary. Okay.
Okay. You know, most of the things are getting knocked down and getting turned into something that's the same size, like even not the same size, but you get more from it. Does that mean this whole place, does that mean there's going to be some extension, or maybe some more police stations somewhere else around Liverpool?
Well, we're building police stations around Liverpool to replace some of the old stations that we've got, because some of the stations are old.
Yeah, because
And
some
they
of them
need
are
doing
starting to get a bit of moss on the sides and starting
Bit
to
of
get
moss on the side, yeah, bit of fungus here and there,
Yeah.
so we need to sort them out. So some of the old stations are getting sold, and we're building some new stations.
I mean, that's just like what I do with Lego. I start building stuff, then I'm like, I can build that into something better, break it up, use the rest of my piece and make it bigger.
You can do. I wish it was that easy. I wish it was that
I do.
easy for proper buildings, though.
I wish it was proper with cars. You know that you're starting to get surveillance cameras all over the place. There's some places in my streets which I think surveillance cameras are needed, but I'm not sure if you'll be able to fit them in because there's no telegraph poles, nothing like that in this
Right.
area.
We don't need telegraph poles for cameras. We can do it all sorts of different ways, but I can't tell you exactly how. because that's a trade secret. Okay.
That's classified. That's proper classified.
Yeah.
Do you have to look after famous people like the Queen, and does it make you nervous?
I haven't done for a long time because we have some very highly trained people who look after the Queen and look after the royal family and ministers and everyone else who visits, who are highly trained officers who do that. I'm in charge of it, so I tell them what the plan is, but they actually do it themselves, and they're very, very good at it. You wouldn't even know they were there most of the time. They're that professional.
You know that most of your police officers have quite a lot of gear. I think there's one more piece of gear that's needed. Lie detectors.
Oh.
Guess why? Because I'm thinking, because you know if someone goes to a hardware shop and they're buying, like, say a saw, yes, how do you know they're not buying it for the wrong use? Because, so, say they're going out, how do you know they haven't got a shotgun and they're out? They can just cut the barrel off, make it easier to hold, and that's even more lethal.
It's a very good point, but we do use lie detectors sometimes, but not for evidence. They're used for different reasons, but we're not allowed to carry them because it wouldn't be fair. Because it's really difficult to get a real reading on a lie detector. It takes ages and ages, hours and hours to do it. So we couldn't do that. But it's a good thought.
I mean, I thought it would have been a bit quicker because you won't be able to do it, will you? Because you won't be able to do it properly, because once you've done it, you've got to do it as quick as you can so you can get somewhere else.
Absolutely.
When do you think a girl will get the chance to be in charge?
Well, hopefully not for another 5 years. That's how long my contract is. But I think one day there will be a woman in charge of Merseyside Police. There's a woman in charge of the National Crime Agency. There's a woman in charge of the National Police Chiefs Council, and there might even be a woman in charge of the Metropolitan Police soon, because there's a number of candidates going for that job. So I think it'll happen. I think it'll happen soon, because there's some very, very good, outstanding women police officers out there. So it's probably about time there was a woman in charge of Merseyside, but not just yet.
You know, in that area there where it's like a little bit of a square, in that bit there's a couple of pubs, isn't there, in that area? There's like a couple of cafes, pubs, stuff like that. So there's a couple of pubs that I know where fights are usually to break out. So I think you should get some of your police officers to like do some patrolling and that on Saturdays, because sometimes it could get a little out of hand on Saturdays.
What we do is we get our police officers, so we look at where the different offences take place, so where the fights have been taking place, and we always make sure we've got police nearby at the right times. And we do that throughout the city. But it's very rare there's problems in the city these days, because we've got so much CCTV, and we have police officers in the right place, and they make sure they move around to the right place.
The future takes over the past, doesn't it?
The future does take. Well, that's very wise. The future does take over the past. You should be on our problem-solving team. You know what I mean?
Okay. You know, on your computers, well, both computers. What's your main thing that you go on? Is it Google Chrome, anything like that? What's your main go on?
Well, it's mainly the police.
And why do you
police
go on
systems. I mainly look at police things and emails and things like that, all work stuff, because I'm not allowed to have any games on the computers.
I know. You've got to be on duty all the time.
You've got to be on duty all the time.
Not like my mum who plays Candy Crush and work.
It's Google. It's Google mostly is the search engine that we use. But there's no games on it, unfortunately, because I like playing games.
Yeah.
You got an Xbox?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favourite game?
Dunno. The game that I want, I haven't got it yet.
Oh, what is it?
Battlefield Hardline.
Oh, it's good then.
That's because in the game you're a policeman. I've played the start of it with my Uncle Gavin, and you flip over a bad guy car.
Do you?
Yeah. You shoot the petrol tank and it goes boom.
Here's a bit of a secret for you. I've got an Xbox One as well, and I play the Xbox.
Gotta love the Xboxes, haven't you?
Just relaxes you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With the right games. Some of them you've got to be careful.
It's like...
What do you want for Christmas?
What do I want for Christmas? Oh, nothing exciting really. A new pair of pyjamas to go with my fluffy slippers. That'll be enough for me, I think. What do you want for Christmas?
Don't tell me, Mum. like peace for the world, really, and loads
Peace
of
for the...
presents, yeah.
Oh, that's a far better answer than mine. You should be sat here, shouldn't you? I want that as well. New pyjamas. Okay.
Over there, both of your computers, they have quite a lot of wires coming out, but there seems to be a couple of green ones. I haven't seen green wires before. Is there a special reason why the green ones? It's like a special piece of data that
It's a special piece of kit that I can't say. It's classified. Okay. But that's what it's for.
Okay.
That and I don't know.
Do you have a boss, like a boss in charge of you?
The Police and Crime Commissioner is responsible for governance. I mean, she can hire me and she can fire me if I don't do things right. So I suppose, in a way, the Police and Crime Commissioner is my boss. But my main boss are the people of Merseyside, because they're the ones who I'm there to look after, and they're the ones I listen to ensure that Merseyside Police are doing things right. I'm sure you'll all agree, some great questions there from Erin and Lewis. Some I really had to think about as well. As ever, thank you to both of you. I think you were fantastic. So well done. And can I just take the opportunity to wish you all a happy Christmas and a good new year. And thank you for all the tremendous work that you do on a daily basis. I really do appreciate it. It's a busy time over Christmas and New Year. I know a lot of you will be working hard to make sure that the people of Merseyside are kept safe. And I, together with the communities of Merseyside, are forever indebted to you for that. Hopefully you'll get some time off at some stage. If you do, please enjoy it. I look forward to working with you all next year. And for now, thank you to the Mini Police. They were great and are coming to an area near you. And wish you all a happy Christmas. Thank you. Here you go. Don't need to. Oh, right, well, that's very good. You can give it to your granddad to look after then, can't you? No?
Thank you.
But that's really, really good of you. Really appreciate it.